Hey, let's get that 4Runner and Tacoma alternator replaced. I'm going to show you every step along the way. It's going to be a pretty quick video. I'll show you which alternator is best and help you get past a couple of tricky spots. So let's jump into the job. First thing is disconnecting negative battery terminal. Then I'm going to start on the 14mm bolt on top of the alternator. By the way, I'm Keith and thanks for stopping by the channel. So after I crack loose the 14mm on top, there's another nut under the alternator. I'm going to loosen that, and then next up is going to be the tensioner. Wow, that was not very tight at all. Surprised how loose that was. So the belt isn't loosening up as quickly as I'm liking, so I am opening up that tensioner as much as I can to get some slack in the belt. Yep. Let's see if I can get this one out. Sometimes the alternator starts moving nicely when you take the tension off the tensioner, and other times it's stuck and you have to wiggle the belt or try to pry the alternator towards the engine. So right now I'm just checking to see if the tensioner has been opened up enough to loosen the belt, and then I'm going to get the belt off shortly. The smooth tip of an open-end wrench works good here to get the belt loose without damaging it.
Perfect.
Okay, we got that off. The belt does look good, so we're going to keep it on, and this eliminates having to move a bunch of other things out of the way. Due to age, these plastic plug covers sometimes just break. So be prepared for that. We were able to reuse this one later in the video. Good. I never take these all the way off with the ratchet because the little nuts have a tendency to fall and get lost. So good idea to just take the last part of it off by hand so you don't drop it. Oh! You didn't, did you?
Yep.
And even then, sometimes they fall. Told you not to drop it, dude. Okay, lift up a little bit. Put a little pressure on it. Don't pull too hard. Okay, loosen up your grip a little. Okay. Okay, so see if it will slide out. It might be stuck here. We might have to stick something in there. Sometimes you just got to pry them out and support the weight from the bottom first. There we go.
Okay, perfect. I got it.
Oh. Out you come. We want clearance here. Might have to tap this that way. So here's the first tricky spot, which can be a nightmare. So let's break it down. And oh, by the way, there's the new Denso alternator. But anyway, we're going to cover this in a minute because sometimes hitting it with a hammer doesn't work. And I'm going to show you a couple tricks on how to get that sleeve to move. Another issue that pops up, if that tensioner comes apart on you while taking out the alternator, just put it back together, and that left facing bolt, that is what goes into the new alternator. Here's the new one, just making sure this nut fits. And it does. So with this thing off the car, this is a great time to make sure the little plastic fittings and nut fits on the new alternator. And also, I always go for the Denso, the original Toyota parts on these. It's, to me, just not worth it to get the aftermarket on something like an alternator that can get you stranded. These things last a very long time from Toyota. So here we go. The trickiest part of this job is retracting this little sleeve and bushing. If you don't do that, you will not get the new alternator in. It won't fit. And I've built a little contraption here out of a couple box wrenches and a bolt to see if we can compress that sleeve and get it to move. That seemed to work. This is more flush. Doesn't want to go in. You pull it out for a second. This can also be a time where people are out of patience and panic and try to pound it in or pry it in, and make sure you don't do that because it should slide in. All right, so my first contraption didn't quite move that sleeve far enough. It won't fit. So The second choice here is another contraption. This is 3 sockets and a long bolt with a nut, and by tightening with a ratchet, it is going to move that sleeve to give me space. Kind of compress this way. Let's see if we can get that bushing to move, and it has been tightened as much as we can, like that. So good news, after a few attempts, that last apparatus worked, because this is now completely flush. See how much further that's sticking out now? That moved a good probably 1/16 of an inch. This is the hardest part of the job, actually, but we should be good now. Should slide in now after all that. Look at that. Okay.
All right, get the screw in.
Well, that worked.
Yeah, it's going in.
I just want to see that this is closing up. It is. I'll tell you when you can release your grip a little bit. Okay, you can release your grip for right now, but I need to trade places with you. You're in the home stretch now at this point, but it can take a little bit of time if it's your first time to get that tensioner lined up with the bolt hole. So this was challenging, getting the tensioner in place. And then I did just get it in place and put the belt back on. So put this bolt in first. Kind of helps have a second person. One person holding this, and then feed this bolt in and just barely get the thread started on it. Reach under here and get that T-bolt tensioner in place. It's a little bit challenging. It took probably 15 minutes. But now it's in place, and now all I have to do is tighten up the bolts and the tensioner. It'll pop right in. Make a click. Bingo. You got it. The wiring harness is corroded. Clean it. Okay, see if you can jam that guy down on here. Now, guess what? When I say don't drop this nut, I mean you don't drop this nut for anything. I'm going to put a magnet in your hand. Hang on. I know these by feel.
Yeah, that's good.
You want these tight, but don't over tighten them or you can snap the fitting off. This is the tensioner. The gear wrench works great for this. I'll put a link in description. You want to get the proper tension on the belt before you bolt everything back down. Don't look like it's coming off. Grab it. Does it feel tight to you? It's not moving, right?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Notice how after we prayed, everything went smoothly?
Yep.
This one was tight. This is another thing people miss a lot, even professional shops, is over tightening battery terminals. It's very bad for your battery. It can actually cause internal cracks and swelling, so don't over tighten those terminals. Man, I do love the way these 4Runners sound. Last thing is check the dashboard. No light, no charge light on in the dash. Turn your lights on. That's how you know it's working. We're good, bro. Hey, thanks for watching. Check out some of my other 4Runner videos, including the how to check your own timing belt easily. I'll link that one. Please like and sub if we helped you out. We'll see you in the next one.